YouTube, man, how's it going? First of all, I want to just check up on everybody, make sure everybody is safe, make sure everybody's staying inside. I know this quarantine time right now is very rough. It's very rough for me. I'm a more outdoor person. I like to be outside. I like to go out to the bar, to the club, to the beach, hiking, stuff like that. Now, the beach and the hiking, I could still get away with doing that, but going to the bar and the club and, just going out and socializing, is not a thing right now, But I hope everybody is just following the guidelines, making sure that, you're just staying safe, Wash your hands, wearing your mask if you're going certain places, stuff like that. If you're sick, make sure you wear your mask. The mask doesn't protect you from getting sick, The mask is to protect everybody else from you. So that's that's the reason for the mask, all right? But this is just, I don't really have a plan for this video or anything, It's just a quick little talk. I see the stimulus checks, the $1,200, those went out, started going out a couple days ago. I got my little check, I hopefully everybody that's able to, if you don't need it to survive, to pay your mortgage or to pay your bills or anything like that, I hope you save it, Put it aside, make your emergency fund. This is why I advocate for saving money so much. This is why I always stress the fact of always saving for emergency fund, because you don't know when something might happen. This disease, this virus, it came out of nowhere, you understand me? Everybody is thinking 2020 is about to be a great year. Everybody have good plans. 2019 was such a good year, had such good momentum, whether you're talking about the stock market, real estate, or just life, A lot of people have had high hopes for the new decade, right? 2020 is a new decade. A lot of people had high hopes for it. And this came out of nowhere. So, a lot of people, they have their jobs, paying them a certain amount of money, and they even though they were living good because they could pay the bills and they could afford to go out and stuff like that and buy this and buy that, they were still living paycheck to paycheck because they were spending everything on stuff that you don't need, So this is why I always stress, always have an emergency fund, all right? 3 to 6 months, at least 3 to 6 months. You should even try to get up to a year, right? And your emergency fund, meaning that you're supposed to, when you say 3 to 6 months or up to a year, meaning that all the bills that you have, every bill, your mortgage, your car note, your car insurance, phone bill, every bill, you're supposed to have the amount of money to pay your bills for a year. That's an emergency fund. That's a real solid emergency fund right there. And that's why I, stress to build that up. All right. I hope that, a lot of people take away a good lesson from this. There's a lot to learn. This happened in 2008. A lot of people still didn't learn their lesson. A lot of companies didn't learn their lesson because the same way how I stress for individuals like you and me to have an emergency fund saved up, these companies also should have an emergency fund saved up, right? They're supposed to have a cash pile of funds saved up for emergencies like this, for things that you are not expecting to happen, right? But what a lot of companies were doing, because the stock market was so good, they were being greedy, and they were just buying back their shares, buying back their own shares, instead of saving the money where they make, the extra money that they make for emergencies. They were buying back shares because the stock market is good. The stock market is going up. Everything is great right now. Nobody thinks for the future, Nobody thinks for the unexpected, and you have to do that. You have to think for the unexpected. Things are not always gonna go good all the time, right? Right? It's good to be optimistic. It's good, very good to be optimistic, and you should always look at the glass as half full, right? Always see the glass half full, but you still have to know that that glass is also half empty. You still have to know that. You still have to see that, well, if this glass goes down a little bit more now, it's more towards the empty side. You have to plan for that. You have to plan for these things. You can't just think that things are just going to be going up and up and up and so great and all the time. No, it's not being negative or pessimistic. It's having a plan, all right? You always have to have a plan for the unexpected. So you see a lot of companies right now, they are going through it. A lot of companies are going through it. I don't think that a lot are going to make it, you know what I mean? Or even if they make it, they're not going to be the same. And right now, you're seeing it. You see how the nation, the debt for these companies is just building up, building up. Like, you know, they're not making any money right now, and they're living paycheck to. They were living paycheck to paycheck. You see, like it's only been 1 month. It's only been a month and a half, 2 months, and they are already in threat of going bankrupt because they were living paycheck to paycheck. Yes, they were making a lot of money and everything was great, but they were spending it. Soon as they make it, they were spending it, right? And it's the same thing for individuals. So you see, not only individuals have to do these things, companies have to do these things. You know what I mean? Now they're asking for bailouts and stuff like that, right? Now, when it comes to those bailout things, I mean, I blame, like, all right, so the government sending, you know, individuals like a $1,200 check and stuff like that. Like, I mean, $1,200 is great, it's good, but it's not gonna help much. You know what I mean? It's like 22 million Americans right now out of a job, and for those 22 million Americans, $1,200 one-time payment of $1,200 is not gonna last. It's gonna get them through maybe 2 weeks. You know. But whereas you over here, you're giving these companies billions of dollars. Look, this is how everything works, right? I don't know how they think like this. Why they always bail these companies out when, yes, I understand they provide jobs, right? The companies, they provide jobs. But who's spending money? Like, who's going on cruises, or who's going to go on the airlines, and who's going to go to the supermarket, who's gonna go to the bank, who's gonna go to the store? You and me, we the ones who spend the money at these businesses to keep these businesses running. So if we don't have money to spend, even if you bail these companies out, they're still not gonna survive anyway, because no, we need bailout. We don't have no money. They got bailed out and their company could, you know, survive and stuff like that, but we don't have no money to spend at their company. So, you know what I mean? I just feel like if you're gonna spend all this money to bail out these companies, what about the individuals out there? You know, yes, I understand. You need to have your emergency fund, and you should have been saving money for your emergency fund and to survive through tough times like this. But at the end of the day, also, these companies are the ones that pay you. You work for these companies. They instead of raising your pay, they take the money that they make and they buy back their own shares instead of, you know, paying their investors and paying their employees. That's greed, right? No, the employees that were not making a lot of money have to watch the company get bailed out and you get like a little $1,200 check. It shouldn't be like that, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that same employee that works for that company, that's the one who's gonna take their paycheck and go to the grocery store and buy groceries. That's the one who's finally gonna get to go on a vacation after working, slaving away for a whole year, and they get their 2 weeks vacation off. That's the one who's gonna go on a cruise. That's the one who's gonna take a plane to go to another country, you know what I mean, and stimulate the economy. Not the company at the end of the day. The company, yes, you provide the job, but these people are the ones, when they get the paycheck, they the ones who flow the money through the economy. And if they don't have no jobs right now and they don't have no money, how is it gonna work? You know, I know I'm rambling right now, but it's just certain things that I'm seeing happening out there right now. I'm just hoping that we all are looking at it and, you know, taking lessons from it, all right? Learn, man. We need to learn from our mistakes. It's like when you're young and, you know, you touch the stove, you know that, okay, that's hot, don't touch it ever again. You know, but we don't learn. I mean, it happened in 2001. It happened in, you know, in my lifetime anyway. You know, of course, we know about the 1980s. We know about the Great Depression in the 20s. We know about that stuff. But in my lifetime, this is the third time now. It happened in 2001. It happened in 2008, and now in 2020. And it seems like we still didn't learn the lessons. You know, so. You know what I mean? All these companies, man, you gotta learn. You gotta put money aside too. I understand that you gotta look good for the investors. You gotta look good for, you know, Wall Street. But you have to make sure that your affairs are in order. You have to make sure that when certain things like this happen, you have money on your balance sheet so you could continue at least pay your employees half, half of their paycheck while they can't be at work right now. But now, instead, you lay off 22 million people laid off, not working, and you out here, you begging the government for bailout cash, right? Because you had the money when you were making profits. You could have been saving this money for a rainy day. Instead, you're buying back shares of your company because your stock is so good and you feel like your stock is gonna go up some more, right? No, you should have been putting that money aside and you should have been raising your employees' paychecks. That's what you should have been doing. And so, it's just gonna be left to be seen if they learn their lesson. Now I know I'm rambling off financial wise, and because that's what I do. I like to look at finances. I like to talk money basically. But I understand that a lot of people out there are going through a very rough time right now. Also, there are a lot of family lost loved ones because of this virus. You have doctors and nurses, EMT, police officers, firefighters. They're going through it right now. I know that they're very busy. You have hospitals that are running out of beds. Not a lot of, you don't have a lot of ventilators. It's things like this. This is just unpredictable. I mean, really, I never thought I would see anything like this in my lifetime. It's unpredictable. You can't, but that's just how life is. And maybe this thing happened just to shake you up a bit, to wake us up, to realize that, hey, appreciate what you have. Like, we were just so used to, I was just so used to Friday and Saturday night going to the bar or to the club to go dance and party, We were so just used to just going to the mall and walking around and window shopping or whatever. And going to the movies. We're so used to these things, we thought we were always gonna have these things. So, we were just so used to going to your friend's house and visiting your friends, and I hope you really show appreciation. For me right now, I'm in the, as you know, I'm in the military. My family is all the way on the East Coast, I'm all the way in the Pacific Ocean right now. And my realization is that I should go visit my family more, Because right now, like, I want to go on leave and I can't go anywhere right now. I can't fly out and leave to go back to, Miami to go visit my family, right? So now, whenever this thing is over and whenever I could, I'm going to make sure I take more breaks, right? Take leave, I work all the time. I don't take enough leave. I make sure I take leave and go and actually go spend time with my family, right? Because you never know when these things might happen. Like, I'm over here just working and being like, oh, I'm going to save up these leave days. I'm going to save these days up, save these days up. I'll go next month. I'll go I'll go in the summer. I'll go in the Christmas, whatever. Nah, man, whenever I get the chance, I'm going to take leave now, because you never know what might happen, right? You never know when you're going to be able to go on a plane again. So, just take this time to self-reflect, look into yourself, see what you could correct, see what you really miss right now that you can't do it, and then whenever you get the chance to do it, all right? Save money for your emergency fund. Save, all right? I'm trying to tell you, like, always. That's why I do this 52-week challenge, right? I always just do it just so I could get, some people into saving money, at least, so that way, if something happened, you have this, right? You know how many times my emergency fund bailed me out when I'm like, oh shit, I don't have no money. I go in my little saving, my little safe, and I take money, cash out, because, oh yeah, I have this, right? So, condolences to everybody that's going through it right now. Hey, stay safe out there, stay inside, stay safe, man. Just that's all I could say, all right? Like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share the video if you want. And have a good day, all right? Thank you.